I think we're live. Can you hear me? Can you see me? We are live. Yeah, I had to run a little late. We had we had different plans for like tomorrow. So we did Mother's Day, and we actually had a couple of birthdays. My wife's birthday and my aunt's birthday. So we just went over to my parents' house and just did a thing there. And I knew that was going to run long. They were like, we'll definitely be back by 7. And they were all planning on it. I never told them I put this to 7:30. Finally, I was like, I really kind of have to go. They're like, oh, right. You had to. I said it for 7:30. There was no way I was making. Come on. They're like, yeah, you're right. What's up, Dennis? Retro, Ben, John, Strat, Landon, Chris, Joe, Chess, Flounder, Terry 3Gs, Tim Greenwald, Max Reverse, we got Joe, we got Zach, we got Music Sound here, we got Vince, Patrick, Nip Pedalworks, Ferd, Frank, David, Clockwork, Speaker, what's up, buddy? We got Matt, Graphite and Guitars, Des Doug, Good Star Guitar. Actually, rosewood neck, not walnut. Fretless Head, Kevin, Hit Metal Works, Trolls. We got Ron. It's storming there. It is gorgeous here. It's been warm in the 80s, but but dry. I can deal with the heat as long as there's no humidity. It's the humidity that kills me. We didn't turn our AC on. And you can really feel it today. It really, the dew point was around 44, which is still pretty dry. 54, it starts to feel sticky. By 64, I'm out. But it started getting a little, it's down to 34 now, which is freaking gorgeous. What's up, Steve, Patrick, and B-Man, and NYC. Oh, it's got all the rosewood, exactly, Dennis. What's up, Sean? Yeah, it's got the dark rosewood. It's like wicked dark. Actually, I think the Strat one version I have, I got the companion, the Strat companion. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it. I think it's even darker. Even more chocolat. That's French. On vacation in Williamsburg, it's muggy and storming, yeah. Joe says his PV Raptor came. Let's see. Wrong one? Is that what? It's going by fast. I missed that. Pollen does stink, Green Meanie. What's up, Strat Tom? Thanks, Alex. I don't play it a lot, but every time I do, I'm like, boy, I really like this guitar. Yeah, dry heats are easier to deal with because you can still kind of cool off through perspiration. It's when it's so friggin' muggy out and your sweat's going nowhere, bro. No, I haven't put anything on the wood. You know, I don't know even what you'd put on it. Some sort of cream. My volume's low? Shouldn't be. Says I'm up there. Check, check. Exactly, just a natural sweat. Got rain here in New Jersey. Been waiting for a week after putting fertilizer down. Yeah, I did that organic stuff. That is it like Margalite or something? Margalite. It's basically poop in pellet form, little pellets, and but it takes a long time to break down. And it's actually not fertilizer itself. It actually has to break down in the soil, and that creates the fertilizer through the breakdown process with microbes. So it's a very, very slow release. It's used by a lot of golf courses because you can't burn the lawn, so it's kind of dummy proof, right? You're worried about someone going out there and like spilling it or putting down too much and really torching up a lawn. They say it basically can't burn the lawn, so we'll see. Sort of a long-term solution. I've been using that, and I gotta say my tenacity has been kicking in. It took a long time. So we're about 2 weeks in, and things are turning white. You know, things that it is selected out as weeds are dying off. Do we have Buddy? Bud man? Oh, Bud's just laying down. Maybe we can, where is he? There he is, the Bud cam. Well, he's gonna come around. Hello, Bud. Buddy. Uh-oh. Hold on. Buddy. What do you think about this tally? That's not a good response. Oh. No, you're fine exactly where you are. No. You're not in the way at all. You're not in the way one bit. Yeah. You need a... You try and jump over to here. Hold on. Oh, I know. Hold on. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Hey, now what do you think? Yeah, a lot better. Yeah. I know his jump limits. I know you. Uh-huh. Right. Right. Oh, sure. He's found something to check out. Now, where was I? I got, he is a buddy cat for a reason. That cat, he needs a human to latch onto. Cat will eat dill pickles and pickle juice. I don't think any of my cats are into that. I haven't played guitar all friggin' week. Worked on the trailer quite a bit, though. Got some work done there. And, I think we're coming in on our final approach. I feel like I'm more than halfway through working on it. And, we're getting there. Thanks, Patrick. You guys ready for a little trailer talk? Hashtag trailer talk. Or do you want to? It feels like oh my God, it's 7:43. We're 43 minutes in. We haven't even talked about the main topic. But no, we're less than 15 minutes in. Just before we get to the trailer, let's just talk very quickly because people are like, talk about the topic. People, not you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm talking about the people that watch later, who come because of the title, and they don't realize it's just a weekly live podcast, really, right? So, the AI thing. So I was talking with a buddy of mine recently about synths. It came up about synths, really, even more than like amp profiling, but you have to kind of think it could get easily extended to amp profiling. Oh, thank you, Fred Birdie. Welcome to Cool Bro. Cool Bro? Now you're a Cool Bro. Welcome to the, we have to welcome him in. Ferd. Welcome. You are now a member of the Shame Club. Shame. Welcome. So we were, we were talking about synths, and we were talking about just, really how hard it is to really get a good piano or even really a good saxophone, and certainly a good guitar. My God, it's like I have never, ever heard a good guitar sound on a synth, ever. Because I'm a guitar player, and I know what a good guitar player sounds like. The simplest riffs, sure, especially if it's just like sort of plucked, like acoustic riffs, like arpeggiated acoustic riffs, or arpeggiated clean riffs, those can actually sound pretty convincing. But rock riffs, and they never sound right. They just don't. And you can just hear it a mile away. So we got to talking about how far we've come, and especially like pianos. I think we were really talking about pianos, and basically because there's a couple of approaches. One is sort of an all synthesis approach, usually modeling, something like piano tech, where it's just all synthesis. And they figured out some sort of modeling algorithm, and that's what they're using. And it's actually pretty damn good. And it's extremely lightweight, right? Because it's all using computing. And then the other side of that is sampling, which can be incredibly convincing, especially because they can pick up on little things like the pedal noises and the hammer noises and the key noises. And they have all these different levels, and they sample all these different little things, including all that little extraneous stuff. And that can be very convincing. The problem is, a decent piano is like 3 gigs of data. I mean, 6 gigs of data. They're hardly lightweight solutions. They're pretty hefty. And they take a lot of computing power to work. And you need a pretty fast drive system. It's all, it's a little trickier. Of the two, the sampling probably does sound better than the modeling. But we were saying, like, what if the modeling got to listen to like every piano ever, right? Kind of like what AI does, right? It works off of these massive data sets and sort of can put together a representative based on the, right? Write me a novel about this, and it pulls in from all these other novels, right? That's how AI is fed. It's fed with data that's already existing. And then based on that, it can extrapolate something new. Right? That's what they're talking about, AI-generated songs, right? There's only so many notes. They're broken into different genres. You can really categorize everything. AI can learn all that. They just said that they had AI to the point where it could, like, discern a book in just, like, you could read a book in, like, under a minute and discern when even one word in a passage had been changed very quickly. Like, really, really hone in on differences, and it's getting there. So you wonder if eventually they'll be able to tap into, like, every recorded amp sound ever. Well, here is like the collection of audio from like Apple Music or Amazon, like every audio ever. Or you could break it down to like, well, this is just a whole bunch of killer Marshall amps, all right? Because that's what they're doing now. It's all profiling, right? And it's actually pretty brilliant. It's like the IR process, right? Impulse response. So they send a sine wave through, right, at different frequencies, and they know what they sent, and then they listen back. And then if what they hear, the difference between what they sent and what they hear must be the equipment, right? Must be either the amp it went through or the cab it went through, the IR speakers. You can IR all kinds of, right, impulse response. And it's pretty damn accurate. If you've ever heard of, what's the one that Glenn does there? Spectre Sound Studios. He's got a bunch of, I forget his branding on that, but he's got a bunch of impulse responses. They're out there. And they've done the same with reverbs. Really, really accurate reverbs. But takes up a shit ton of processing power. Both of those do. As a matter of fact, you can load a cab IR into the convolution reverb and guitar rig like 5 and 6, and it will play the IR in the reverb because it's essentially the same thing, right? It's just an IR, just an impulse response. So I didn't know how to load the IRs, and they didn't have a way to load it in the cab, but you could load it in the convolution reverb, and it worked. Totally worked. Right? Same tech. So you just wonder what's going to happen, right? Where are we going with this? I have not seen the 60 Minutes piece on AI, but yeah, I for one welcome our new AI overlords. Because again, they're kind of doing it with art, right? They pull on like every art on the internet. And so it's easy for them to make up some new art based on all those examples. You have enough examples. It's like, you have a data set of 30. We have a data set of 30 million. right? 3 billion, right? Some crazy number. And it's got such a large, voluminous data set that it can really start to extract. And what do they use? Tokens, right? Like a thing where they give something a meaning. And then, like, the more tokens that they can add to it, the more meaning they can extract. It's, like my wife was saying, it's going to probably be pretty damn disruptive pretty quickly. Well, how do you know you're not watching SFB? You don't. They're cleaning the floors at Walmart already with the robo cleaners. Exactly. I'm probably working on my trailer right now. IBM is laying off 8,000 employees. Yep, replaced by a single robot named Hal. What could go wrong? Yeah, AI from Boston. What question do you have? Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Why do you even want to know that? That's Boston AI. I don't know. I'm just saying, it seems a little weird. Yeah, the floor robots at Stop and Shop. If there's people like Sarah Connor, it's not going to happen exactly. Even AI won't be able to do the Boston accent. It's a tough one. You know what? I will give props to Johnny Depp. He's one of the few guys who wasn't born and raised around here. All the ones that do a good Boston accent are from Boston. But he's one of the few that wasn't from Boston, and I thought actually did a really good Boston accent. It's really hard. The worst is Clooney. Oh my God, dude, just stop. There's a few of them out there trying to do it. Oh, just brutal. Like, what are you doing? The hell is that? This car's like wicked smart. It's the smartest car ever. Then the other guy, well, how smart is it? Well, it's smarter than you, okay? That's all you need to know, all right? That's your typical Boston. Yeah, it's like hearing someone not Irish do an Irish accent. Oh my God, we had some friends. We had 2 exchange students from the London area come over for, they're working at the Flatley Company, which is basically a large bunch of the Flatley owned buildings, malls, mainly, mostly strip malls. And so we were working at the mall, and we had these 2 exchange students from, I think they were both from London. And we were like driving in the car, and they come on for like, is the new what was it? The new Hyundai half payments, and a woman goes like, half payments, and they look at me and they're like, what is this? I go, that is a Bostonian trying to do a British accent and failing hard. And they were like, this is crazy. This is like the worst thing ever. I go, oh no, it's bad. And they're doing this whole half payment thing. Oh my God. They were dying. John Clark, you used to work for Flatley, did you really? I mainly worked at the Dedham Mall, and sometimes we go out to, like I said, was it Medfield? They had a strip mall out there. That's where Skip got stung by the bee. And Skipper. And the dude was such a pathological liar. He started saying how, like, he felt like he was swelling up, and I don't know, maybe I'm allergic to bees. And we're like, yeah, shut up. And we see him like a couple of minutes later, and his face kind of is swelling up. We're like, all right, let's get going. We were like, the crew chief there, Dave, goes, yeah, well, let's hit the road. Okay, let's get back. And on the way back, he's getting more and more freaked out. He's having, he's like, I think my throat's closing up. We're like, will you shut up? They're going to have to give me a trach, an instant trach. We're going, will you shut up? And we stopped at a walk-in clinic, an emergency walk-in clinic on the way back. And we went in there, and he got a quick shot. A steroid shot. He was fine. Oh, my God. We were like, yeah. My face is swelling up. My throat's closing. I can't breathe. Sure. Whatever, Skip. So, oh God, he was going on and on, and and the problem is we're trying to take him seriously, but he's just such a liar, right? Just one of those dudes. Every word out of his mouth is a goddamn lie. And he goes, we get to we're driving, and he goes, my throat's going to close up, and they're going to have to do an instant trach. And I look over to Dave, and we're like rolling our eyes to each other. And the dude's in between us. I'm driving. And and then there's a little pause, and he goes, I know. I've seen it. And we burst into laughter. When he said, I seen it, we're like, you have? Will you shut up? You're fine. The instant trach. I got to give me an instant trach. I'll give you an instant trach. Like the scene out of The Heat. Oh my God. Yeah, quick shot for Skipper. So I had another friend of mine, and he's just one of those dudes who he's not hearing you bullshit. He does not bear fools gladly. He's like, oh yeah? And just call a dude out. Never met you. Call you right out. What are you talking about? Like, and so, he was meeting me after work. And there's Skipper. And my friend was probably wearing like a Zildjian shirt. And Skip's like, oh, I'm a drummer. He's like, oh, yeah? And he goes, yeah, I play in the band 2000 BC. He goes, really? He goes, did you just get hired? He goes, no, I've been playing with them for a while. He goes, because there's an ad in the Phoenix this week. 2000 BC is looking for a drummer. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's probably the singer. He wants us to have 2 drummers in the band because we have 2 pianists. He could have stopped at the 2 drummers, but he goes on to the 2 pianists, not 2 keyboard players. And I'm just imagining 2 big candelabra grands out there for their rock shows, with their double pianists. And he goes, oh yeah, what's their names? Like instantly, oh yeah, what's their names? He goes, oh, you wouldn't know them. They're from France. Of course. God, imagine it being a rock band with 2 drummers and 2 French pianists. I mean, I'm just saying that sets a scene. That's why when he's telling us, I'm stung by a bee and my lip is swelling up, we're like, uh-huh. with the pianists and the double drummers. And of course, now his lip really is swelling up. We're like, oh shit, man. Okay, all right, let's go. Let's leave. Not because you want us to, but just because we want to. Oh my God, Skipper. Last time I saw him, he was leaning out of the side of a Camaro. And he goes, remember John? And I go, yeah, that was our boss at Flatley. He goes, I kicked his ass. I go, I bet, Skip. I bet. Of course you did. Oh, Nelson. Oh my God. He's bringing shame upon this house. We have Fretless Ed. We speak your name. Welcome. Ben Coombs. We speak your name. Welcome. Chris D. We speak your name. Welcome. 10 Solo Music. Co. We speak your name. Welcome. And of course, Ben Tom. We speak your name. Welcome. And shame. 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 For who the shame tolls. Is this really a cult? Only if you lay down the $5, bro. Other than that, not really. Wow. Exactly for who the Taco Bell tolls. I feel like it's a little loud. Oh yeah. Wouldn't that have to be our theme song? Something like that. I have not tried the Neural DPS, the hardware. I have not. But all that modeling has gotten so much better over the years, especially as processing just gets stronger and stronger. I think, I'd like to see Kemper update their hardware. I know Kemper makes really good stuff, but sometimes their stuff just sounds just way too bright. I really do think. But I bet in the house it sounds amazing. It's like one of those things where maybe through full-range speakers and like through headphones it sounds a touch too bright. But then when you're in the room and you're hearing it in the mix, you're like, oh my God, that sounds killer. Absolutely could be the case. I've heard some really good Axe effects, though. God, really good amps out of Axe effects. Especially when you get up to like the 3 Ultra, the new one. And then the Helix, and the Helix keeps growing. But again, much like the Kemper, I feel like just the Helix hasn't updated their hardware in quite a while now. I think that was introduced in 2015 at NAMM, 2016. Pretty, even if it was 2016, it was like 7 years ago. So maybe they're on a 10-year track. Maybe they're looking at the video game market, trying to do 10 years. But even the video game market doesn't do a 10-year track anymore. They're more like, 5 to 7. You have the neural amp model. It's like 1,000 amps. Yeah. Yeah, there could be a little analysis paralysis, right? It's almost like a little too much. You and Tone King last night. That was great. It was a lot of fun. I was falling asleep, though. My God, I had been up so early, and I didn't have a coffee. So, at the very end, I was like, like yawning, stifling yawn. Sure. By the time you fire up all the amps, you'd have time for software, sure. I tend to use software like, 99% of the time. When I have company over, I turn the amps on. It's just easier. And one of my favorite amps is my Boss Katana. I always thought the Katana sounded really good. A lot of little tricks you can do, too, to, like, overdrive it and use their, use their effects in certain ways, right? Because there's a bunch of built-in Boss effects. I really do like the Katana. I'm wondering when the shoe is going to drop on, like, a whole new, Katana 3 or Katana Max Plus. I remember when I first had Guitar Rig and THU. I remember some dude would always come on and go, dude, that all sounds like crap compared to, you got to get yourself an Axe Effects. I said, oh, well, let me check it out. That Axe Effects was like $2,500. I'm like, dude, you're comparing a $2,500 item to a $150 piece of software? Well, I guess you could, but if the Fractal didn't sound better, boy, wouldn't you look bad. Wouldn't you look ridiculous? So, but I just think that THU has gotten so good. I don't feel the need to run out and drop big money on a big piece of hardware. Unless you're gigging out, then it might make more sense. But, if you're staying at home at studio work, the VSTs are where it's at. How many pedal boards do I have going? Well, as you know, every patch on THU has its own pedal board. So, 1,000. An infinite number of pedal boards with an infinite number of... Actually, it's a finite, if you think about it. But the number's pretty big. If you think about all the possible combinations of something like, what is it, about 300 items, 400 items, it's a lot. I was using the Katana app. I don't have it loaded any longer down here, but I did have it loaded to help work the controls on the Katana, to help set the... I think I was using the Katana app, unless I'm confusing it with the Boss app for the GT1000. But I could have sworn I was using the Katana app, and I had to use it to update the software or something, and a whole bunch of crap. You have to hold some buttons down and put it into a mode. It needs a mode. Should we switch? I kind of like that. I like that sound. That's the yeah, the Behave lead. Dual heavy rig. Man, I'm screwing it up. It's because I want to play it there. But he plays it there and slides in. There we go. That's the... I feel like I'm out a little bit. Hold on, let me call up my tuner. Where are you, tuner? Come on, tuner. There you are. Yeah, I feel like I'm going a little. It's like a little sharp there. That's good. That's good. Oh, that's a tiny bit sharp. That's a tiny bit sharp too. It's the hot weather. It's like wicked hot there, hot shot. Come on. There we go. Better. It is a nice rosewood. I do have the companion Strat and Hot Rod Red. If you could just vision that in your head. Strat. Also a rosewood neck, but in Hot Rod Red. Who's this AI guy you speak of? Al Ignanowski. Good guy. Steve watched Ben at Israel. I did see it not there, though. I think I saw it on Instagram. I probably... I probably did play it there. Oh, but it is easier to do it open. Steve, any opinion on Squire? I love Squire, but only certain ones. It's not a free-for-all with that brand. Like, it's not like you can just pick any one. They're all friggin' amazing. Classic Vibes are killer. That's like their best line. One of their best lines that they've ever come out with in the Squire lineup. Those Classic Vibes are top. I think the Vintage Modified are pretty damn good too. They have basswood bodies instead of the alder bodies of the Classic Vibe series, but still they're nice guitars. I was really shocked at the quality of my Vintage Modified. I gave that guitar away, but that was a really nice guitar. I think I paid $180 for it, $179.99, and that was really, really nice. Especially at that cash. The Contemporary series, I think Bobby had one of those, and that felt really good too. Felt like the Classic Vibe series, like a really attention to detail. Also Indonesian made, I think. And The deluxe series is pretty good. I just thought the standard was a weak. I thought the pickups were a little weak. I thought the Bullet series was weak. The pickups were weak. They're like, well, it's a mod platform. It's like, yeah, but you can't buy those parts as cheap as Squier can. Like, you could just buy the vintage modified and get a much better guitar for a lot less money and get the Duncan Design pickups, which I do think sound better than the unbranded pickups. Those Duncan Designs, pretty good. Pretty good. We might have to move off this way. Single coils. They're custom shop. They're nice pickups, but they still are single coils. Well, let's see how this one does. It's a little noisy, but not really. It's a little quieter. I'll stick with that one. Plus, we can add the phaser. On my pedal board, or the other phaser. Or, if we're feeling so bold, we can turn the octave pedal on. Dee 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 dee. Bullet series is better than Affinity. I don't care for the Affinity series either. The Affinity series, it's just very inconsistent, that series. They've been just so all over the place. Sometimes you pick one up and you're like, oh, this is pretty good. Other times you get one and you're like, wow, this is like really bad. Like really dried out wood on the neck and just really, really horrible quality from head to toe. I had the SE too, the Squier SE. That had such rough fret ends. It's like, how could you hand that to a kid? They're going to like cut their hand. I mean, you never had felt like such poorly done. I wish I did a little bit of video work to show. I wound up going over it with a sanding sponge and, sanding them down. But I probably should have done a little video work to show just how crazy they really were. I was like, this is just shocking, like, disregard for, manufacturing processes to just nip those off and leave them so sharp at the end. It's not like they were hanging over. I mean, like, they cut it, and just how they cut it just leaves this, like, sharp end. And it's not like it's, like, the neck is shrunk and it's sticking over the end. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the frets are not, they're just the way they nip them. They never did anything after that. And so, like, that nip mark is so sharp. I was like, you cannot even be serious with this. Again, just a lack of detail. Affinity to me is fret sprout. Yeah, that was an SE, and maybe it did have a little fret sprout, but not really, because I was able to take it down. You can't take fret sprout down with a sanding sponge, but you can soften the ends of frets that don't stick out of the end and make them easier to work over, right, just by softening the metal up a little bit. So they weren't sticking out at all. It was just, bad craftsmanship. Period. And, you know, and that was a kid's guitar, too. Like someone was saying, like, you wonder how many kids just, like, get discouraged because it kind of hurts to play it. Yeah, there was an SE, a special edition or something. It was, I think, sold as a kit with an amp. But I called it out in a Squire video, and so many people in the comments were like, well, what if that's the only guitar you can buy? You're such a jerk. I'm like, oh, I found one of the guys that owns one. Pick the worst guitar in the world, and I'll show you a dude who'll defend it to the end of the day. Steve, any friends, plans to have some friends over a guitar talk and a stream? No plans right now. I do have some local friends I'd like to get down here, though. It's so much better than, you know, the pandemic really screwed us up. I was starting to put together, like, sort of the you know, a band down here, trying to get something going, but I got sidetracked with the pandemic, and then I turned that space into, like, really more of a synth space. Although there probably is enough room to tuck a drummer into the corner if I had to. Let's see Hennig's rant on trolls. I did. How far is Tone King from me? I don't know, about 400 miles, 450 miles maybe. And remember, he's south of New York City, so you'd have to get through to the other side of that. Yeah, maybe 400 miles. Do. Think budget guitar. Well, they can't spend the time, Tony, because the time is money. They got to crank them out. And well, the other thing that, and I don't think that people realize this, is that, like, when they were selling McDonald's, a buddy of mine worked at McDonald's when we were teenagers. This is probably like 1984, 1985-ish. He's working there. And at the time, you could buy a hamburger for 59 cents, or you could buy a cheeseburger for 69 cents, right? 59-cent hamburgers and 69-cent cheeseburgers. And they send you through a little bit of training. And he said he learned in training that the cost of the hamburger, the 59-cent hamburger, was 13 cents. That's how much it cost to make that hamburger. That's the kind of markup they needed to have. Right? You'd think of maybe a 59-cent cheeseburger, maybe it's costing 30 cents, 35 cents in ingredients. No, 13 cents is what they were putting into that burger. And no more. Or they'd have to raise the price. And so, when you look at almost any manufacturing, people always think it costs way more than it really does to make the guitar, anything that they're buying. What's the markup? It's incredibly high. So generally something is sold at retail for roughly 4 times what it costs to make. Because if it doesn't, then they lose money. Somewhere money is lost along the way. So basically, if you're buying a guitar that costs, $100, a $99 guitar, they generally have to build that guitar for about $25. And just think about the cost of the wood, the cost of the frets, the pickups, the hardware, the tuners, the nut, finishing it, and putting it all together, tuning it up, shipping it. You got to be in there about $25 a guitar. So it puts a little perspective on just how low do they go, how cheap is it, and that really is the mark. When you find out with that Apple marks their stuff up like just incredibly, that's how they built such a huge business. It's all in the markup. Like, how much does that $1,000 computer cost you to make? I don't know, $80, right? I mean, it's crazy, the friggin' markup. So, you know. Oh, sorry to hear that, Hadley. That's always the worst. I've known a few who have sadly passed away the same way, which is always tough. McDonald's, the meat is their only expense. Yeah, they I tell you, they get it down. You know, they have to get those build costs like way down, because if they don't, then they're out of business. They can't do it. It's got to sell it about 4 times for what it's cost to make. So like this is probably going to start to go away as you see more and more direct channels. Is they're going to have to start cutting out middlemen, and you're not going to see as many. I think at some point it could be that you would see large box houses like Sweetwater survive, but spread out facilities in places that you can go down and just walk in and get something, like Guitar Center might go away, just because. And the only thing you'll have left is, if you want to buy, is used. Used places will pop up, but not new. But who knows? Hey, what's up, Bobby? Yeah. No, I agree, Sky High. The gouge is particularly strong with SSD and RAM upgrades, and it seems like they don't make the base model powerful enough. I mean, are we still doing 8 gigs of RAM in 2023? I mean, really? Are we 8 gigs of RAM on a base model? Are we still there? Feels like 16 is our base now. But man, they're still dragging along at 8. So, not just them. There's a bunch of PC manufacturers that are doing it too. The difference is the PC manufacturer is selling it for $299 to $399. Yeah, my God, vending machines. Remember those? God. Steve, is my Boss Katana head or a combo? It's the combo. It's the 100-watt single 12. The 100-watt single 12, because I think they make a 100-watt 212, and they make the Artist, but I don't have the Artist or the 212. I have the single 12. I have the Katana Original and the Katana 2. Love those amps. I love Katana amps. I did 28 gig, nothing less. I got 64 in my video editing machine. I got 16 in this and 16 in my other machine there, and then I got 32 in the synth machine. I got 16 in the server. I got 16. I'm pretty much 16 across the board, with 132 and 164. I get something in my eye here. Hold on. Better? Yeah, the next tones. Those do sound good. I swear to God, I have like pollen allergies. I can feel the burning in my eyes. Are we ready to talk trailer? What are we going to name my trailer? Rex? Got 32 gigs on the Ryzen 9. Buddy Love. Trailer Swift. Now you're talking. See, those are the kind of names I need. Trailer Not So Swift. So we had a little work this week. Let me see if I can show you what a done diddly done. There's that shot. There's a shot around here. What the? Yeah. That one right there. That's a good one. All right. So this is from like maybe like early last week. Forget now. Maybe Sunday or Monday. You can see I've I got the primer all over it. I got the wheel off and I've sprayed it with the gloss. That's actually the magnet, right? The converter to convert it. But if you notice, it's still got the rust pockets and the stuff around the side. I mean, it's solid, but it's unsightly. I don't like the look of it. Not happy with the look. So what I did was, let me get to the right photo. What I did was can I get a good shot of it? Like, yeah, like there. Oh, sorry, right there. I used a high adhesion fiberglass body filler, and boy, it is high adhesion. sticks to everything, and filled everything in quite nicely. And it's super strong and flexible. It's a fiberglass impregnated. And then let me see if I can find a shot of it. Yeah. Oh, like that, right? Take it down. Little fiberglass Bondo to fill it in, and then that's what it looks like when it's done. You see, it just kind of fills the old gappa in, and it will help. And you can see it up here poking through. It basically fills in all the little gaps around the edge and makes it solid. And I mean, what I could have done was cut the cage and tried to replace it, but I think my dad was right that it would have just spiraled into a, instead of a one-day project, like a one summer project, and it was going to be like forever. So I was pretty happy with the way it came out. I was like, you know what? It's looking pretty good. It was a little tough up front. Let me see if I can. You can see there, like this top piece is bent. Although I've pulled it back, it's still bent out a little bit. When I put the boards in, it will tie it all in, but that's still kind of a tricky area in front. But this was pretty wide open, and now it's all sealed up with the fiberglass. I just think it's going to seal out the water, much better than it was. And let me see if I have another photo here for you. No, that's not a good one. Not a good angle. Hold on. No, that's not a good one either. Yeah. So there. Yeah. There's another shot of it there. Again, I just think it looks a little cleaner, a little neater. Down on the edge. Again, I still have to tie this corner back in. But filled in all that gap. I'm spray painting the other tire here. Getting it all nice. Hold on. Let's go back here so you don't have to deal with my photos. There's a lot to wade through. Yeah, now here is the latest. I think I have the latest. Yeah. Is that the absolute latest? Or did I do one after that? Yeah, this is the latest photo. This one here. I did actually do a couple after that. And what I'm doing is the final coat on the inside. This is a, like, you know, rust proofing, you know, top coat by Rust-Oleum, oil based, and which is what the undercoat was too, the primer. So this is sort of the final top coat. I'll do the inside first, work my way to the outside, and the inside I'm just doing satin because it was cheap. On the outside I'll do gloss, which was like a couple of bucks more. I just do the satin on the inside because who cares? You don't even see it. I could have done flat, but I felt like the flat would just, I don't know, it just feels like it holds the water better. I feel like the glossier it is, the less surface, like there's less surface, like roughness to prevent the water from rolling off or beating up, right? The surface tension of the water can grip on the flat stuff better than it can on like satin or gloss or semi-gloss. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So when we're finally done, I think it may be another week or two. I still have to get the wood. You know, the wood's going to run like, geez, $250, $200, $250. Yep, the final top coat. Exactly. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. The wheels, or at the very least the hubcap, stayed to a 1960 to 1963 Ford Falcon. What's up, Steven? Rock on. How old is it? The axle, we don't know. The wheels are from a 1960 to 1963 Ford Falcon. But I actually found the bill of sale the guy gave me. I had already registered before I got the bill of sale because you don't have to have a title on a small trailer. Small utility trailer doesn't need a title. So I just went in there and said, yeah, I got a homemade trailer, which it is. It is a homemade trailer. And they're like, okay. And you don't have to provide a title or anything like that. But he did give me a bill of sale. And on the bill of sale, not a title, but a bill of sale, he said it was made in 1997. But that feels too new. I doubt that was made in 1997. I feel like that was more like made in like 1977 or 1987. The Tone trailer? I thought Rex trailer. No? I took all the wheel wells, the outsides, right down to bare metal because they were looking too flaky. Never forget what it looked like when it showed up. If I can go back far enough. God, so long ago now. What was it? A month ago? A lot's happened. Wow, that's a lot of scrolling. Oh yeah, God. What are we back to? April? When did I get it? April 7th? April 6th? All the way back to the 17th. God, I've taken a lot of photos of this thing. Yeah, April 8th. And it looked like that when it showed up. So, I'm just saying, I think it looks better. Wait till it's done. That's what I said, oh good Lord. More like 67, right? And the only thing that would make me doubt it is if that axle is off of some old Ford. Because usually what that does is just come out of a junkyard. Someone starts with an axle they get out of a junkyard and they just go from there. But I don't know. My dad seemed to think that it might have been that it's from an old Ford trailer that like every major company used to make trailers. Ford made trailers, and you could get a Ford trailer, like Chevy trailer, and they like every major company would make some. It's a part of their like sport line would have a trailer. So he seemed to think that it could have been a Ford trailer axle, and that's why it worked with the Ford wheels. But who knows? Yeah, a hell of a lot better, right? Plan to haul band equipment around in it? No, it's really just for hauling leaves to the dump and big items from Home Depot, like plywood that I can't really fit in any of my cars any longer, and I don't want to put on the roof and hurt my car. So I needed something to get crap home, big stuff home from Home Depot, and because I have a big fencing project I want to do around the perimeter of the house. We did one fencing project last year, and it was a nightmare getting that wood home, having them have to cut it there to get it down to size to be able to, even get it in my SUV, which it still wound up tearing one of the shoulders on one of the. We were so careful, and we still wound up tearing a shoulder. So it's like just annoying. You don't want to damage your car, getting crap home, getting wood home. Yeah, probably more fencing because I want to do the perimeter fence, but I can't do it the same way. That fence I put in was about $200 a panel, and I don't think I can spend that on that other fence. I don't think I can spend $200 a panel on that fence. I gotta find a cheaper solution than $200 a panel. Maybe more. I'm thinking more like $80 to $100 a panel. My sister's already like, oh, I have a bunch of stuff I need you to tow out of here. I'm like, oh yeah? Well, it's available for rent, by the day or the hour. Love your trucks. It's hard to get a truck right now. Not just you, but a lot of people love trucks. And, just used cars. It's getting better. But it's a little tricky trying to get a used vehicle for real cheap. So, I just figured, the trailer was $200. And I've probably spent... let me think. I'd have to think about this. Probably about another $100, maybe $150, because I did buy some. I bought the grinding wheel. I think from, the grinder, the 4.5-inch grinder. I got that for, I want to say it was $19.99. It's like $20. The paint was like $16 a can, and I got like 3 cans, so that's like $50. And so there's $70. And then I got the flap discs. I want to say that was $20 for a pack of like 40 or even 60. It's a pretty big box. It was really cheap, much cheaper than Harbor Freight, and I got them from Amazon. They don't last long, but I didn't care. I was just blown right through them. The worst was the sandpaper. I bought a box of sandpaper off of Amazon, very cheap. It was like $10 for a box of 100, or like $5 for a box of 100. It was really cheap. But man, does it not last. It's like the world's worst friggin' sandpaper. It was fine on some of the last touches on some of the Bondo, but for the most part, it's kind of worthless. What paint? Use nitro lacquer? No, can't do no lacquers. I'm going all enamel, I believe. All enamel. The pressure treated wood is going to be expensive. It is, because I want to get the thickest pressure treated wood. So it's going to be like, I think it's $47 a sheet, and I need 5 sheets. So it's almost $250. You know, $235 roughly. So, you know, it's not going to be cheap, but, you know, Tone King just bought a trailer. It's a nice trailer. It doesn't have the walls like that one, you know, up the side. It's got, you know, the short walls. It's, you know, it's something, but it's a little longer. It's a 9.5 foot, and it's a little wider. Mine's 8 long. His is 9.5, and mine's 5 wide. His is 5.5 wide. And he bought his brand new at, like, the tractor company, but that trailer was $2,000. So, you know, if you want to go dropping $2,000 on a trailer, I'm sure you'll get a nice trailer. When I'm done with that trailer, I'm probably going to have at max $400 in it. So, and like my dad said, he goes, when this thing is done, you can friggin' tow a Volkswagen in this thing. And, you know, to be honest, that type of trailer that he got, I'd have to look at it, but it wouldn't be good for my purpose, because I want to load it up with leaves. So what you generally do is you get one that they have like a little mount on the side for a 2x4. So you can actually literally put 2x4s around the edge of it, and then literally make like a wooden cage around it. I'm not sure that one he had those. I'd have to take another look. It might. It probably does, but, you know, it's a lot of work. And just even the basic small trailer, even smaller than the one I got, would be about $600, triple what I paid for my trailer. Am I going to convert it to a closed trailer? No, but I am probably going to get a large tarp, and I'll have eyelets coming out of the side at various places all around the outside, you know, and I'm probably going to cover it in a tarp pretty much all the time that it's not in use when it's in the driveway. I'll get a dark tarp that doesn't stick out, like a brown or a black tarp, and just leave the tarp over it so it doesn't get rained on and the crap from the trees on it like all the time. You know, keep it a little clean, keep it a little nice. That'll go a long way to extending its life. Couldn't be treated any worse than the guy before me. I mean, and again, even my father-in-law was saying, he's like, how does it get this bad? How does somebody just How can someone even look at this and say, I don't have an irresistible urge to paint that, right? To look at that, you know, to look at this and say, no, I'm good. No, that's fine. I don't need to paint that. No, that's fine. I can just look at that all day. You know, the other thing is down here in the corner, he had them up here, which is stupid, but down here there is a little hole. I have the working lights. When it's done, the lights are going to look awesome because they're single stud mount. It's a really good light system that the dude gave me. That's the other thing is he threw in a brand new light system, LED light system, and it's actually pretty damn nice. I like it better than the one that they have at Harbor Freight. Yeah, there we go, right there. So that's where we're at. We're getting there. A little smoother, a little cleaner, a little straighter. If you notice the two holes at the bottom I cut out, I'll probably put something through here. I can get a single insert here that I can put in through the back and will tie into the spare tire through the front. It just comes out through the front and then just has a large cone that goes over the spare. So the spare is going to be mounted right up here in the front. If you want to mount the spare to the side, you need square bar. This is all L bar. That's L bar. That's all L bar. It's all L bar all around. The inside is channel bar. Channel bar at the bottom. So there is no full square bar on this anywhere. None. The closest you have to a solid piece is the tube in the middle. Center tube. Agree, get a good top. Yeah, I think so. I think it'll last. Do a 5150 paint job. You know, we yeah, maybe a little ground lighting, some LED effects. We talked about that, about maybe doing it in like the Bumblebee, right on the wood part. Do a yellow undercoat, tape it up, and then just spray it, you know, with a black top coat and pull the tape off, and you have the Bumblebee effect, right? But a lot of people said the same thing. You're just asking to get stolen. You're just encouraging thieves. And because it's it's a homemade trailer that doesn't need a title, and because it doesn't have, you know, a security system in any way, you're just that much more vulnerable. And I agree. I'm probably going to, before I put the wood completely on it, I might stow away somewhere deep inside a little air tag, right? Just in case it gets stolen. Wouldn't hurt. How long would air tags last? A year, 2 years? Throw an air tag on it. Yeah, exactly. My niece here put a GPS tracker in it. Put like an air tag. Hey, what's up, Tone King? Do you think ChatGPT will have an effect on MI? I do. Of course it will. That's just common sense. I think we all can see that coming. Yeah, Tone King, we were just looking at my trailer. Did you see it? We're getting there. We're working on it. Got to add the wood soon. We're getting there. A little bit more paint. Add the wood. Be good to go. Should be able to hold, you know, a good day's worth of leaves. Especially if the more I think about it, what I should do is just run the mulcher and just mulch everything and throw it in the back there. The problem with the mulcher is getting it to the dump, or getting it getting it in a bag, right? It all turns into a giant mess. But if you throw a mulcher in the back of that, I can mulch it right into the bed and then just drive up to the dump and just push it all out with a, rake it all out with a rake or push it out with a broom. Or, quite frankly, a cordless blower. I can't tell you how many people at the dump jump into the back of their pickup truck with a blower and just blow the leaves right out of the back of their truck right into the giant leaf pile. New tires, tongue lock. I'm definitely getting a new tongue lock. The old one's kind of rusty, and a new tongue lock is $15. So why wouldn't I get a brand new tongue lock on it? And I probably am going to put new tires on it. The tires that are on it are actually got a lot of meat left on them. The problem is that they're just so old that they've cracked. They've got cracks in them. And so 2 brand new tires would run about $58 a tire. And my wife said, she goes, I'll get you the tires for Father's Day. So we'll probably just do that. I'm sure it'll run with the tires that are on it. They seem to be fine, but I wouldn't want to take it on the highway. And I certainly wouldn't want to take it even out of, like on a major road without having a spare for it. So I got to get a spare rim, and I got to grab a, which is easy enough. It's a Ford 13, and get a tire, and then I'll just use one of these as the spare. Yeah, they're way cracked. And you can actually see one. Even my dad pointed out. He goes, you can see this one was just flat, right? Probably sat flat for a long time. Then he finally pumped it up. He goes, but you can see the cracks from where it was just flat, right? And the rubber pushed out from being flat, and then it went back up. You can see the cracking. Is that a homemade trailer? It is, based on the axle. We don't know where the axle's from, but the wheels date to or at least the hubcaps date to a 1960 Ford Falcon. So I'm thinking it was probably made sometime in, I don't know, the bill of sale he gave me said 1997, but I'm thinking more like 1967. That thing seems friggin' old. Do I have a shot of the? I have a shot of the whole thing. Not really. Oh yeah. Oh, right there. Right there. There it is. And it comes out and goes up like that. That's the whole thing. It's a biggins, 8 feet long by 5 feet wide. And then these are, I think, 3 feet tall. Maybe 4 feet. No, I think 3 feet, maybe 3.5 feet tall. So, and then the back actually has a slot for another board that you can slide into the back and lock in if you want to make it into like one big, dumpster, to throw stuff into. Take it up to the dump, and now it's your problem. What was my problem is now the town's problem. You can make an outdoor stage with that, I know, right? My wife says when we finally get the wood on it, I'll do 3/4 inch plywood, pressure treated plywood all around, and I'm gonna go glossy black on the frame and probably matte black, flat black, matte black for all the wood, just to have a little contrast between the matte and the shiny. But I said, we could probably dress it up for the town, put the banners on the side, and you can put some hay in it, and you can ride it in the parade. In the 4th of July parade. Just tell people 67 sure. Exactly. Guess should we get new rims with those tires? I don't think so. The rims actually looked pretty good. Let me see if I can get a shot of the rims. The rims actually, here's a shot. The rims are actually fine. It's funny, I would love to just get an old Coates machine I can work a Coates friggin' machine like no one's business. Those old Coates from the 60s, you know, God, I used those all through the early 80s, like pretty much every day for 5 friggin' years running a Coates machine. So I'll throw this on the Coates and have this off in 2 seconds. I could change these tires in like a minute flat, but I don't have the machine. They make electric ones now, but I don't know. I'm kind of partial to the Coates. You know, so this is just a little glossy black. I did both sides. Throw a set of hand kooks on here. The tread actually isn't bad. The tread is actually pretty good on them. Like I said, they're just cracked. And you can almost see like the dirt, right, where it was sitting in the mud. You know, this guy before me was a... again, how do you look at that thing and just say, yeah, no, I'm cool with that? It was just so rotted, so bad. It's like, God damn. 3/4 inch plywood might know it's going to have to be. They usually use 2x6 or 2x8 slats for the trailer floors. Not on that trailer. It won't take it. As you can see, it's designed for plywood. Let me see if I can get a shot of it. Hold on. Yeah, right there. It's a split floor. So what it does is it's 5 feet, so it's a 29 inches at dead center. And that's exactly 96 inches long to the end. And the floor goes in against the wall and bolts in here and to the back here. And then you put the other one in. Then you put the front piece in, and that goes on top of the floor and bolts in. And goes all the way to the edge, and then you put the side piece in, which locks the front in and locks the floor in and ties into 10 different bolts, all around the side cage, and it locks in the bottom and all around it, and that sort of locks it in. So you put the floor in first, the front in second, and then the sides in last. And then, like I said, it's got a slot here on the back if you need to put, another piece in. But it's getting there. Almost there. To protect the plywood, maybe get some diamond plate. Diamond plate's so heavy. I was thinking about maybe doing that on the front. Putting a diamond weld, putting a step plate on. Let me see if I can find a good shot of it here. Where is it? Putting a step plate like right here, like right across this bottom part, like right across there. But I think if I do 3/4 inch pressure treated plywood and I use an oil based stain, right, that impregnates the wood, I'll be fine. I mean, it was running with the old plywood. And, it was rough. Let me see if I can find a shot of the, hold on. I pulled it apart so quickly, there's not a lot of photos of it when it was together. He did use boards on the sides, but I think it'll introduce too much water. Oh, that's a friggin' video. Where's a non-video shot? Yeah, right there. That was that was it when I got it. That's the wood on the side, and there's the floor, not even covering the entire floor. Big gap right here. Like, how much shit fell out of this guy's trailer and killed people? Like, what the hell is this, dude? Then this piece of wood was rotting, so he just stuck this one on top of it. And they're not even like under the sideboards. I mean, at one point he said, I go, oh, it looks like you have a slot in the back for a piece of plywood. He goes, yeah, we did have one, but we went down the highway and we heard like, boom. We were like, what the hell is that? And when we got there, we realized we lost that piece in the back. And I'm like, oh, sure. Yeah, it happens. What are you talking about? Ah. Oh, that's old wood, man. I pulled it out and I went over it with. You ever see a scaling needle, a scaler? It was like $20, right, for the scaling needle. And man, it just has these like little steel fingers. They take all the rust off without blowing it all up in your face. And then I did the whole thing over in rust reformer, which is converts rust to iron ore, they call it magnetite. It's a type of iron ore. And then I did what you see in there, the rust color. That's the primer. And now you can see the black, and that's the top coat in right there. You can see I'm finally putting the top coat on. So, it's got 3 coats of, rust proofing. It should be pretty solid. Plus the fiberglass filler. I should be good. Exactly. Probably took out a car, a few pedestrians. Oh my God. I know. When he was telling me the story, I'm going, uh-huh. Speaker was there. Speaker was with me. Speaker, what did he ask you? Why are you crossing the chains? And you're like, because you're supposed to cross the chains? Right? I mean, that guy. He felt a little dangerous. Oh, thanks, Sassy Cat. Do I have any coffee left? I don't. That money will come in handy. Yeah, Speaker was there with me. Speaker's the one that towed it back to my house for me. And if I didn't have 2 straight weeks of rain, it'd probably already be done. It could have been worse. The rotting wood could have been stained in blood. I know. Could have opened it up and found a dead porpoise under there. What the hell is this guy doing? I did find, I think we found a critter. Probably have a picture of it. Yeah, there it is in the magnetite. I think I did. I took it apart so quickly. Let me get down to the photos. I know I took a photo of it somewhere. No, it's already stripping it. So it's got to be before that. We're already stripping it there. Where's that photo? Right there. What crybaby leg bump? Right there. Critter nest. Of course it'll have a critter nest. Underneath, deep inside, critters. But it's gone. That right there. Geez, I wonder if I have a picture of it. Do I have a picture of that particular area? And that's not really a good angle. Well, that's better. Not really, actually. Can't even really see it. But that area is all cleaned out, all spruced up. Oh, I probably have one from the front angle here. On the other angle. Yeah. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. That's where that was. Right in that little pocket right there. So they're climbing up behind the wheel well, getting up here underneath the floorboard, and they had this little area in here. Exactly. Got to cross the chains, bro. What about brake lights? He actually gave me a brand new light kit with it that he was going to install and never got around to doing it. So I have and it's actually a pretty dim, it's an LED kit. My SUV is fully set up, for, the lights, the trailer lights. And it's mandated in my state. You have to have trailer lights. And you have to have left signal, right signal, brake light. And I think that's it. Unless you get over, I want to say 3,000 or 3,500 pounds. And then I think you have to have reverse lights as well. And you might even need a reverse signal. Once you get so big, they require a reverse signal. But for its right now, all I need is left directional, right directional, brake light, and a plate light. And I'm legal in my state. To be legal federally, technically, you're also supposed to have amber lights up the front. And my kit came with that. So it'll light up in the front, the amber lights, and then at the back there'll be the tail lights and the plate light. And I'm probably going to add the reflective tape around and add a couple of reflectors. Doesn't hurt. Technically, you're supposed to have a red reflector at the farthest edge of the sides of of the trailer. So, like, if you have a wheel well, you're supposed to have a reflector red on the back and amber on the front. So anybody coming down can see the farthest edge of what your vehicle is. Telly style guitar, that's an eart. And they're going to use directionals? Yeah. Your residency is revoked. That's giving away secrets to the enemy. Never use your blinker. Might as well just tell them your bank account number. Any plans for ground effects and hydraulics? Oh, of course, of course. Full LED. In fact, the sides will all be LCD panels that are connected to each other and have a rolling advertisement. This space for rent. Yeah, side marker and license plate illumination are all required. So the kit he gave me has everything. It has the front ambers. It's got the red sides are built into the tail light, so it has a red that goes to the side, and then of course the main red that goes to the back. And then one of them also has a clear that shoots down and mounts to the plate mount. And then you just put, like, some red and white reflective tape along the bottom of the back. You put some red reflectors on the back of the fenders, and some amber ones on the front of the fenders. And those don't have to be lit by law, but they just have to be reflective. Yeah, exactly. Add a turbo. Couple of subwoofers. Nice sound system. Maybe a wet bar. Steve, when you dad in the tire business, he was. So I'm saying I could change those tires in 2 seconds. But I'd need a nice coats machine. Something from the mid-'70s. Maybe even the late 60s. Turned into a tiny rolling house. Charge hipsters on Airbnb. What if you could live anywhere? Now you can. With this radical new design, never thought of before. You actually live in the trailer. I just invented that. Into the day did an outstanding job on the trailer. Don't judge me yet. Wait till it's done. I'm telling you right now, it's going to have a wow factor when it's finally done, because the wood, I think, is going to pull it all together. And, you know, when we get the only thing I got to really do is I would feel a lot better, especially if I'm going to take it eventually on the highway, is repacking the bearings on it. You know, dropping those bearings, or pulling the bearings out. You know, they make a belt. We were talking about last week about whacking the bearings out with a chisel. They actually make a bearing kit that comes with a little hammer and a bunch of aluminum discs, and the whole kit's like $20. So I can just get that and pop it out probably pretty easily. Yeah, I'll have a winch idea. Sure, got to do winches. It's all winches these days. VW minivan to pull it. Peace and love. Oh, I'm sure there's trailers out there. In fact, when we were in Maine, there's a whole place along the coast where they just have a big trailer park, and they're not owned. You rent them in the summer. You rent a trailer and hang out at the beach at this big trailer park. I'm pretty sure those are all rentals. Yeah, bearing buddy. Yeah, just to help pop out the one that's like packed in on one side. It's not really pressed in. It's sort of like pushed in. It seems like you can get it out with a little whacking. Good one, Blackjack. See, even though it's going to be totally awesome when you're done. Thanks, buddy. Have a good one. Play yourself, Buddy Cat. Where the hell is Buddy Cat? We got Henry on the floor. Henry? Anything? No. I don't think you can see her. She's a little off to the side. What is that? That's gross. It's like a little. I got the paint on me. Hey, got paint on me everywhere. I'm wearing my painting shirt, my painting pants. It's all my paint. Is the green telly on the wall an eart? It is. 'Tis. You know, I don't think they're expecting me to go to 9:30, so maybe we have to cut this short a little bit. I'm hearing more and more activity upstairs. So, we will call it a night. No, you rock. Thanks to everyone for hanging out. Super extra thanks to anyone who contributed. And a special thanks to Nelson for handing out a bunch of memberships. Very, very generous. And very much appreciated. And welcome aboard to all the new members. And, we'll see you next week. I don't know what I'm going to really have out for videos this week. I don't really have anything planned. It's been a little quiet lately from getting some gear. I think Vola's going to do something soon, but, it gets quiet. People, you talk and then it gets quiet. So who knows? But we'll do maybe something this week. Maybe not. At the very least, I'll see you in a week. And we'll get the scoop of what happened in the past week with the trailer. And of course, as always, check out Ben Coombs' live show on Sunday night. Special guest this week is am I reading it? Is it Taylor Swift? Tune in and find out. For the Mother's Day show. And there you have it. And happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. It's getting noisy up there. And we'll do it all again in a week. And until then, have a wonderful week. And I'll see you guys then. And there you go. There you have it. What a show. What a show. Great job. Thank you. Exactly. Trailer Swift. See, I knew I was reading that wrong. It's actually Trailer Swift, a trash trailer parody of Taylor Swift. All right, dudes. I will see you guys in a week. Until then, rock on. Later.